All right, welcome back. We do have a little bit of progress. So I'll put the camera away because I'm trying to catch up. I'm still miles behind where I want to be, so I haven't done a whole lot of filming. But in the last video, I started blocking the Resto finish polyprimer. We got that finished. I did hit it really aggressively, which meant we had a lot of rub throughs. Had to come back in and seal that up, and then we've shot our final primer. So the roof and the whole way down the side of the car is now ready to be blocked and painted. I think I mentioned in the previous video, when I put this bonnet on, I didn't actually have it aligned properly across the top here, which meant when I actually gapped everything up and added material along the front to sort the nose cone to the bonnet gap out, it looked good until we pulled the bonnet off, sealed everything up, put the bonnet back on. When I put it back on, I did align it correctly up here. And of course that meant we had a variance along the front here from the nose cone to the bonnet. It's one of those stupid little mistakes that, well, it's a pretty big mistake really. It's one of those things that's been playing on my mind ever since I discovered it. We've got this sorted now. We've had to add material in a couple of spots and then shave it down in other spots, but where it is now is good enough. I'm happy with that. So now that we've made progress there, I decided to just touch up this transition from the guard to the nose cone. So previously we had a pretty major hit all around this area. I'll put a link in the description that shows a video of the major hit that we discovered and the work we had to do to fix that. But once all that was done, we had the transition probably 98% of the way there. It was, at the time, it was kind of close enough. I've decided to dial that in a little bit more now. So really easy stuff, just a light skim coat, blocking it through into the nose cone. Really, really simple stuff. So I had planned on heading out to a car meet tonight. I think by the time I finish up here, and I really need to clean this shed up, but by the time I finish up here and get that done, I'd have to wash the Caprice. It's covered in crap at the moment, just covered in dust. I'd have to wash that. Also needs petrol. So just check the price of petrol. It's up to like $2.30 or $2.40, something like that, a litre for 98, because as you would have seen, the whole thing's kicked off in Iran. So I think that's going to give me a pretty good excuse to give it a miss. Now there is talk of petrol hitting $3, $3.50. I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but it's not going to happen. Don't stress. At least it won't happen anytime soon. I think you'll find that Trump's tolerance for economic pain at the moment is going to be pretty low. So if petrol gets up to, when it comes to oil, if it gets up to say 100, 110 bucks a barrel, I think you'll find that's going to be the US's point to where that's where it's going to max out. That's about as much pain as they're willing to take. And when it hits that point, they're going to try and find a way to shut this down. They're going to try and find a way to get out of Iran. Because, I mean, $100, $110 a barrel, that starts putting pressure on inflation. It's coming up to the midterms, not a good look. In an ideal world, I'm hoping that Trump comes out, once it gets to $100 a barrel, says enough's enough, we're going to shut this down. Israel goes along with it. Iran comes back to the negotiating table, and that's the last we hear of it. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to drag out for quite some time. It's been a couple of days. Progress is slower than I intended, but we're getting there. So this fuck up that we had is now all sorted. I had to scuff it all up, redo the filler work along the front here, and then reseal this front section. But that is now sorted. I feel much better now that's done. So we are now moving on to the driver's side. You can see I've blocked this quite aggressively. We had the bodywork roughed in on this side. Unfortunately, this entire car was pretty rough, to be honest with you. It was pretty wavy. So we bare metalled it, sealed it, skim coated filler, blocked it, sealed it again, and now we're at to a point where we're blocking it, prepping it for the poly primer. Right, so I've blocked this quite aggressively, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I like to reduce the material thickness, the overall build-up of all the materials that I lay on the sheet metal as much as I possibly can. And if we look in this area here, I'll just grab that. If we look in this area, you can see that we've actually blocked this really aggressively. And the reason for that is we had a little bit of a low spot through here. Wasn't bad, but it was there. So we had a guide coat, hit it with the longboard, revealed that low spot. And then come in with this. Oh no. Uh-oh. All right, it's working. Anyway, so I come in with this and I'm taking measurements all the way down the door. This gives me an idea of where I can and can't block. So the material, the overall build-up was pretty light in this area. It was a little more heavier in this area where you can see we've blocked through to the filler. So to sort that little bit of a low spot out, got the longboard and aggressively blocked through here. You can see there's a couple of spots where we're just starting to go through. Anyway, doing that sorted out that ever so slight low spot that we had. And if we come back in now, take some measurements. We'll start here where it's a bit heavier. So we've got 0.15, 0.10, 0.16, but it gets a little heavier up this end, so we're 0.23 and 0.24. And as we go further down, it really starts to thin out. What else should I mention? So this door doesn't have any crown to it. It's pretty much dead flat. And while I'm doing this, I'm also coming in with a straight edge, just to double check that everything's straight. Make sure we don't have any issues anywhere. It can be a long, tedious process, but it'll be worth it in the end. So we're almost there. We've got the seal panel and a couple other spots just to finish up. Once we've done that, we have to reseal all these areas where I've rubbed through with a sealer, epoxy. And then we'll come back in with the hybrid polyester, block that, and then final primer. Now, in case you're curious, this is what 0.254 of a millimeter looks like. So we're not caking body filler in, we're just putting in the bare minimum to try and get this car straight. Now, don't get me wrong, there's probably areas, I know there's areas that'll be heavier than that, but at least that might give you an idea of what we're working with here. We finished up with the blocking down the driver's side. It's you can see I think I already mentioned this, but I've hit this really aggressively, and we've got a lot of rub throughs. You can see a lot of sheet metal poking through and a little bit of filler here and there. Large section of filler down there. I think I already mentioned that. Okay, so now we've finished all that. We're ready to start spot priming. Unfortunately, the weather has kind of turned to shit, so it's still pretty warm, and we've got some rain starting to come through, which means humidity is just gone through the roof. When I checked it, I don't know, an hour ago, we were 87 or something % humidity. I don't like to spray anything over about 60% humidity. That's just how I learnt. I kind of try and stick to it. You can have problems with adhesions. You can get moisture trapped underneath whatever you're laying down, and that can cause blisters. There's all sorts of problems. Drying time is another one. There's all sorts of problems with trying to lay down pretty much any product in once that humidity gets over the 60%. So it's a pain in the ass, but I'm not risking it. I don't care if it takes 2-3 days. I'm not bothered. The car can just sit here until I'm comfortable, until the humidity gets down to a point where I'm comfortable in doing all these final touch-ups. One other thing I just want to quickly mention, the passenger side, man, tired. So the passenger side wheel arch had a whole lot of spot welds through here, just all factory stuff, but they were inconsistent and they kind of stood out, looked really shit, so I decided to smooth all that out. I've decided to do the same on the driver's side. Now, there weren't any spot welds through here because this rear quarter, man, this rear quarter was replaced at some stage, so we had a lot of weird plug welds that I had to knock down and shave down. So we kind of had the opposite problem on this side, but we've done the same thing. We've smoothed it all out. I don't know if you want, to the owner of the car, I don't know if you want to run the stainless trims along here eventually, but I mean, if you don't, it's not such a big deal because this should look all right once it's all in color. So masking, I hate fucking masking. It's probably one of the worst jobs. Well, that and stripping paint. I'm tired, bear with me. So I thought I'd have a bit of a chat while I'm doing this, give me something to do, because it's going to be a slow day today. I've just got to mask everything up and that'll be me finished, I think. Back on the price of oil. So that just got a whole lot more interesting. We got up to, I think it was $119 a barrel on Brent. It's come back down to 81, 82. I was checking the charts this morning, and it looks to have settled around the high 80s, low 90s. So Trump came out, he got in contact with a journalist and strongly implied that the war, I think we're calling it a war now, the war will come to an end shortly or very soon. I have a feeling that's why we saw those massive swings. We haven't seen swings like this in the oil market for quite some time. Problem is, I don't know the exact timeline, but Hegseth has also come out and said something along the lines of the war is just beginning. Or the conflict is just, no, I think he used the word war. Anyway, so we've got two conflicting statements. Trump was actually asked about this, and true to form, he said it could be both. So it could be just starting and it could be coming to an end, apparently. I have a feeling that this is going to go on for a while. Israel isn't going anywhere. I don't think Iran's going to back down. They kind of got everyone by the balls at the moment. Some of the Iranian oil is still getting out. We've got, I think there's some of the oil heading to China. India might be able to do a deal. I think that's when it'll happen now. These countries are going to have to try and do a deal with Iran and to get their shit out. Because it's not just oil. You got fertilizer. There's all sorts of shit that comes through there. But that's their strong point. That's where they're going to get it. I mean, they may not have the weaponry, but as far as the economy goes, they can really hurt the rest of us. Middle Eastern history is really interesting. If you've got a bit of time to do a bit of research and you're into this kind of thing, it's definitely worth looking into. I wouldn't go as far back as, you probably don't have to go as far back as like ancient Persia or anything. To get some sort of an understanding, at least you can go back to the late 70s, early 80s, have a look at the Iraq-Iran war, how that kicked off and how it played out. This isn't the first time the Strait has been shut down. So there are some positives out of all this. If you've got a little bit of money put aside and you want to get into this kind of thing, this classics and customs, and don't have the ability to build one for your own or can't afford to build one, if you have a little bit of money put aside, the prices of these cars are going down. We all remember the COVID prices. Shit just got out of hand. And a hell of a lot of people were priced out. Now this kind of cuts both ways, because the people that might have had money may not have money now, especially if you've got a $800,000 mortgage. All right, it's been a few days. We finally had a drop in humidity, so I'm happy with that. Got below the 60%, so I could finally come out here and start sealing up all those areas that I had rubbed through. So because we had that delay I had to come back in and all the areas of exposed sheet metal, I grabbed some 80 grit and just come back in and re-scuff them just to make sure they're all nice and clean. Pretty simple job today. We just have to scuff up all the sealer that we've laid down. We've got about half the car done. Now we've only got the door and the guard and the nose cone to go. So we're not worrying about a guide cut or anything. We've got a relatively soft block, and I'm just taking the top off of this to give it a decent tooth so we can lay down our high build polyester. I'm kind of hoping to get that sorted by the end of today. We're going to see how it goes. So petrol prices, where I am at least, are sitting around the $2.40 mark for 91. We're not going to see, I don't think, I might regret saying this, but we're not going to see the $3.50 pricing that people are predicting. Everyone has to sensationalize this shit just to get attention, but I don't think it's going to happen. Could be wrong, but unlikely. Diesel, on the other hand, it's a bit of a fucking mess at the moment. Okay, so I have about an hour to shoot this polyester before I need to finish up for the day. We've now finished scuffing everything. We've hit this with wax and grease remover. I'm just giving this another quick wipe down, and hopefully within the next 45 minutes, we should have everything laid. I'm liking it. I'm liking this a lot. So late last night, we got the poly down. This is going to be a pretty nice paint job. We got a little bit of a sheen to it. Well, I had a bit of a sheen to it last night. It looked a little glossy. Had a quick check over the car. She's pretty fucking straight. The gaps are looking about where I want them. Pretty happy with how that's turning out. Yeah, this is going to be nice. Oh, let's see if I can get over. There we go. I like it. I'm happy. Something different. And if we look at the transitions from panel to panel, it kind of looks like that tucks in, does it? No, it doesn't. It's just a camera. So panel transitions are good. You can see the body lines looking nice. Looking between the doors now. There's one of those runs. Fucker. Yeah, looking between the two doors. That's pretty clean. Rear door to quarter. Yeah, I'm happy. So I think I'll leave it there. I've still got more footage to throw together, but this would have been like a 40-50 minute video if I spliced it all up and released it all together. It's a bit much. It takes a bit of time to put these things together. So I don't know. I'll put the rest of that together in the next couple of days and maybe put it out. Just trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter, a little bit easier for me to throw together. So a couple of things. Keep in mind that so a lot of that footage I filmed when the conflict first kicked off between the US, Iran and Israel. So obviously it's going to be dated. That being said, petrol price, I know I keep going on about the petrol price thing, but I've got a couple of bets on this. And if price for 91 stays under $3 a litre, which it will by the end of this month, then I get to cash in. And I'll probably use that money and fill up the, and throw some petrol in the Caprice and finally take that out because that's just been sitting for quite a while. It's getting hard to justify keeping this old girl. I mean, what do? Do I sell it? Or do I stick it in storage for another year? Who knows? So that's it. Put this out, edit the rest in the next few days, get that out, and then this car's out of here for paint.